What's good, everybody? The voice of the WGC back in the building. And that time of year. Time to have that talk. UFC 5. The beta just concluded, so let's talk. Let's go first with my likes. If you just saw, with Brian Ortega, I love what they did with the damage. The real impact system. Looks pretty good. I love the submissions. Submissions are pretty good. I like the doctor stoppages. I like the ref, Herb Dean stepping in. For those of y'all who like to mix up the uppercuts, mix up the spinning shit, shout out to Carlos Condit. I'm just letting you know. We have another change with UFC 5. I'ma just let you know in advance. I'm gonna give you a little hint. You're gonna be playing bumper cars. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna be pressing them bumpers. That's all I'm gonna say. But I will say this might be a good change. This is probably a change that I can get used to because you know me. I'm not really a big fan of control changes, but I will say this might actually be a good change. I think I could probably live with this one. So yeah, the control inputs, yeah, I kind of like them. Not really any complaints. I kind of like them. Um, I like the fact that there's draws. You know how long we've been asking for draws. You know how long we've been asking for draws. It's about time we got draws. So yeah, I like the fact that we got draws. You know, there's some things to like. There's some things to dislike. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the things that I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the stamina. Okay, let's talk about the stamina. When I tell you, and I do not say this lightly, when I tell you this is one of the easiest games to block break in, this is one of the easiest games to block break in. I don't say that lightly. I was literally in a fight and somebody literally, like, imagine Volkanovski's cardio combined with Nate Diaz cardio. Just imagine that. Just visualize that right quick. When it comes to the stamina, you should not be able to go into a first round, throw 300 or more punches, and still damn near have a full tank of gas. That needs to go. That does not need to make it to the full game. That needs to go. Especially when you're whiffing on a bunch of these punches. Somebody with no fight IQ whatsoever, just X Y X Y X Y X Y, like we're playing Mortal Kombat or Tekken or some shit. There should be a stamina tax. You should be taxing these players. Come on now, EA. This is basic common sense. I don't know why this wasn't even the first thing you discussed. Because if you have things like this in the game, it just completely eliminates a skill gap, in my opinion. So yeah, you gotta fix the stamina. It's one of the easiest games to block break in, 100%. One of the easiest games to block break in. What else? I hate the clinch system. It's the exact same from UFC 4. Yes, if you're wondering, oh, what about the cage clinch? Yeah, There's gonna be a lot of that in UFC 5 if we're gonna be getting the beta version. If we're getting most of the beta into that full game, then yeah, expect that UFC 4 cage clinch spam to come back. I do not like the clinch system. I'm not a fan of the ground game, especially the fact that you throw one elbow and you automatically posture down. Like that's just absolutely ridiculous. What happened to throwing elbows? What happened to throwing hammer fists? Like going absolutely ape shit on your opponent while they're on their back. What happened to that? But instead, I gotta sit here like T-Pain, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now all I do is win. Like, what is this, EA? Honestly, what is this? Make sure y'all fix that. We're talking about MMA here. We're talking about getting violent, getting brutal. I want to be raining down elbows, raining down hammer fists. I want to be gushing blood out of my opponent over and over and over again. Why do I have to posture down? Why? I don't like that at all. Another thing is fighter likeness, or the fighters separating themselves from other fighters. I'm gonna keep it real. Some of the models that I've seen, mm, they look kind of garbage, especially that Connor. I know you've seen the Connor because it doesn't look anything like Connor. It looks like a prime Anderson Gustafsson. I said Anderson, a prime Alexander Gustafsson. Why do you have Connor over here looking like Alexander Gustafsson? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, you gotta touch up some of these face scans. They say that the main reason for this, for the most part, is because the fighters sometimes had to step into the studio and they actually have to scan their face, in real time. Had to get them behind the cameras. But come on now, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar studio. You have the tech to fix that face. Come on now. So yeah, fix some of the face scans. Um, Definitely gotta fix some of these. Man, fix the stances, the fighter movement. Definitely. If somebody's playing as Sean Strickland, they should feel like they're playing as Sean Strickland. That slow creeping one step. Give them that Philly shell. Make them actually feel like they're playing as Sean Strickland. Stop making these fighters feel generic. This is UFC 5, as you like to call it, as real as it gets, right? We're on the Frostbite engine. You moved engines to be the exact same as UFC 4. What about the taunts? Because when I talk about fighter likeness, I'm talking about everything that has to do with the fighters. And what about the taunts? Adesanya's had the same exact taunts since UFC 3. What are we doing here, EA? Another thing, this ties in with damage. So I said the damage looks great on the face, but why in the beta, like I said, this may change in the full game, but why in the beta doesn't this same thing apply to other body parts, like the legs? If I'm ripping leg kicks over and over and over again, I should not only get a leg break, but I should see the discoloration on the leg. The leg should be turning red, the leg should be turning purple, the leg should be turning blue. Where's the discoloration on the legs? If you watch UFC in real life, you hear the commentators say it. Ooh, that leg is compromised. Ooh, that leg is compromised. And it looks nasty, it looks gruesome. You don't see that in the video game. You talked about, oh, it's gonna affect their performance. It's gonna affect how they move in the rest of the fight. Well, there were fights where I was ripping off leg kicks over and over and over again, and the fighter looked fresh, like nothing happened. What happened? What happened? Let's continue. We just talked about the face. Let's talk about that again. Let's open up another tab right quick. Well, as you can see right here, in a way older game than UFC 5, guess what you can do? You can be a cut man. You can try to get some of that blood off your fighter. You can try to, you know, get that swelling down a little bit. Look at it. Look at this. I'm just saying, EA. It goes hand in hand. If you're going to introduce doctor stoppages, why not bring back the cut man? We're talking about a simulation experience, right? We're talking about as real as it gets, right? Where's the cut man? And it adds more suspense to the game. Imagine you just get fucked up in the first round and you automatically go to your corner. You're on the stool and you're messing with the cut tools. Imagine. Imagine. It goes hand in hand. If you're gonna add doctor stoppages, where's the cut man minigame? Like I said, I'm doctor stoppages are cool, but I'm telling you this right now. You're gonna run into some problems if somebody's there and just whack, 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 elbowing you to death. You're gonna have some problems because you're gonna be leaking like a faucet. I'm telling you. And this would be really cool if you could implement this. And I know it's too late to add it in UFC 5, but I would definitely say that you should add this in UFC 6. So yeah, that's my take on that. Also, commentary. Um, man, you pick up these games and this is one of the biggest problems, whether it's Madden, whether it's UFC, whether it's WWE, like all these titles. Dead crowds, dead commentary. Now you say, oh, well, commentary doesn't matter as long as the gameplay is good. Well, yes, I do agree. But at the same time, we're talking about sports, correct? Commentary is supposed to add life to the sport, right? I'm really getting tired of playing these UFC titles, and it sounds like Anik and DC are having a casual conversation at a coffee shop. Oh, that's a nice left hook by Volkanovski. Oh, that's a nice knee up the middle by Izzy. Oh, that's a nice head kick by Alex Pereira. It's like, come on. Where is the life? Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the charisma? When you watch a UFC event in real life and you see a devastating KO, what happens? What happens? Anik is clutching his headset. Ow! Ow! You see DC falling back, sweating bullets. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Where's that at? Where's that at? You know, as much as you talk about realism, I'm not seeing too much of it, EA. I'm just keeping it real. Let's continue. Um, Body kicks. Oh man, body kicks. Do they feel kind of to you, or am I the only one here? Body kicks felt kind of to me. Definitely got to fix that. I noticed some warping a bit on strikes, warping, teleporting, whatever you want to call it. Definitely got to get that fixed. Warping, teleporting, sliding. Definitely got to get that fixed. Um, I also, man, I love the cinematic replays. I love the cinematic replays, but my problem with that was there was a lot of stuttering with the cinematic replay system. I got a first round KO and I was watching the cinematic replay, and when I cracked Alex Pereira with Whitaker, his head was like just start like stuttering and shaking like he was having a seizure or something. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, definitely got to get fixed. Definitely got to get that fixed. Um, Going back to fighter likeness, I believe that they got some things wrong. I don't know if they just I don't know what went wrong with the coding, but I think you got things mixed up, EA. I think you mixed up Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira. I think you did. Because there is no way in hell that Sean Strickland, they getting hit by Sean Strickland should be like getting hit by Alex Pereira. I'm pretty sure Alex Pereira is the one with the 98 power. He's probably the most powerful hitter in the middleweight division. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you definitely got to go deep in your bag with fighter likeness and get that fixed. Um, what else? The grappling, man, I don't think. How can I say this? I don't think that it's going to be as appealing to the grapplers this year. Like it doesn't really make you feel like a grappler, like you're a dominant wrestler. You feel me? It doesn't really make you feel like that. I feel like that definitely needs some work. Cause there's a difference between tryharding and getting it off because of the game's flaws and actually being a good wrestler, a good grappler. There's a big difference. And I think this game needs to do a better job of showcasing that. I definitely think that you need to add more animations too, because this was, man, I get it. I understand. It's new tech, it's a new engine. I understand that. But that doesn't mean you have to have all these lifeless, all these dull, all these stiff animations, okay? They should feel fast, fluid, natural. Come on now. Especially the ref. Like I said, I love the ref stepping in, but the ref needs to step in a bit quicker. You feel me? Did I catch everything? I might be missing something. I might be missing something. If I missed anything, somebody let me know. But for the most part, yeah. I know you heard a lot of dislikes there, but for the most part, yeah, I had fun. I had fun for the most part. But if you're asking if this game is worth $70, I mean, if we're getting the beta version, like if you're asking me if the beta was worth $70, hell nah. Hell nah. No, no, no. No. The beta is not worth $70. But I'm hearing that a lot of the features that are supposed to be in the full game are missing from the beta. And that's my thing with EA. Because I'm okay with only being able to fight in the middleweight division, but why can't you add all the features to the beta so we can know, okay, this needs to be fixed? Because how are we gonna know how OP, like what needs enough and what I said enough, what needs a nerf and what needs a buff if we're not getting to see these features in real time? How are we supposed to know that? You're just hurting yourselves with this, EA, by having us wait until the release date to see these features play out. This is ridiculous. And this is the thing with EA. With these betas, they release a closed beta when it should be an open beta. They tell you not to record any gameplay or showcase any gameplay, even though the game is literally about to drop in like a couple weeks. Like, it'll be different if the game was coming out in like 6 months, but this game is literally about to come out. On what, the 27th? Like, come on now, EA. Let's get real here. So, my advice to you, EA, would be to release an open beta like you did with UFC 3. Tweak some things and give us all the features that are going to be in the game at launch. And let us give our opinion. Because here's the thing. I don't want this game to be like UFC 4, where we end up getting bored really quickly. Because that was my biggest problem with WWE 2K23. It felt too much like WWE 2K22. And unlike the WWE games, we don't get a UFC game every single year. So I want this to be as far apart from UFC 4 as possible. Because if you're literally making a game and bringing us a game that's literally like UFC 4, people are going to be burnt out quick. It's going to be the same exact tell. Oh, it feels like UFC 4. It feels too much like UFC 4. I'm just keeping it real. We're not going to get UFC 6 until probably 2026, 2027. So I want this game. I'm not saying I want this game to be perfect. That would be nice, but the reality is no game is going to be perfect. So I want this game to be as good, as great as possible. I'm just saying. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to be optimistic, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared. Because you can say, oh, this is an early build, this is an early build, this is an early build, but look what happened with Madden. Look what happened with Madden. It doesn't matter if it's PC, it doesn't matter if it's PS5, it doesn't matter if it's Xbox Series X, it doesn't matter if it's Xbox One, it doesn't matter if it's PlayStation 4. Everybody knows that EA is notorious for serving false hope, for breaking their promises. Everybody knows that EA is notorious for getting you hyped up with the beta and then crashing down once the full game releases. Everybody knows this. So like I said, I'm trying to be optimistic. Believe me, I'm trying. I had fun. Believe me, I had fun. I'm not just saying this because I got a beta code. I'm not getting paid by EA. I'm not on any type of contract. I had fun. And I would much rather be playing UFC 5 than UFC 4. Of course, I had fun. But I'm just saying, for the near future, to avoid early burnout, please, 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 please keep a close eye on feedback, take notes, and please release an open beta. That's all I'm saying. But with that being said, yes, make sure you are very cautious. Do not walk into this blindly, okay? Like I said, you know how we do things over here at Unsanctioned TV. I'm gonna try to be as honest as possible, okay? It may not be what you want to hear, but it's the God honest truth. If I can save y'all some bread, I'm gonna try my best to save y'all some bread. So like I said, make sure you keep a close eye. If you got a buddy that you want to go to his or her crib and play the game first before you buy it, do that. Look at some videos, do that. Hear some other opinions, do that. But do not walk into this blindly. And the last thing I want to say is, man, why am I not noticing the same amount of backlash that I heard in the Undisputed beta? I mean, Undisputed is not really in the full game stage either way. I mean, I guess you can still kind of call it a beta, I guess. But why am I not hearing the same backlash with UFC 5 that I heard with Undisputed? I don't care if it's EA. I don't care if it's any company. If there's a problem, we got to speak on it. Let's not be playing favorites here, all right? Please speak your mind. Because that Undisputed, man, That undisputed thread was nasty. That shit was gruesome. It was ugly. Those developers are walking into a war zone, okay? It was not pretty. But why can't we keep this same energy with UFC 5? This same thing needs to occur with every single game, or else we're not going to get anywhere. And I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, I'm not saying to send these developers death threats because it's just a video game. It does not need to go that far. Do not send death threats. But make sure that you are on point with your feedback. Make sure that you are getting everything off your chest that you need to get off it. Okay? Don't hold anything back. Don't hold any punches. Please. Please. Because remember, this is not an annual release. We are not getting a UFC game every single year. So you want to make sure that this is going to last us a good 2 to 3 years, okay? All right. Now, with that being said, this is Unsanctioned TV. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we out here. One love. God bless. See you in the next one. Peace.